seeing different types of structural arrangements. Okay, so we saw only alpha helix. Okay, the proteins with only alpha helix, that is alpha domain structures. Now we are going to see the alpha beta structures. So here we have the proteins both with alpha helices as well as the beta strands. Okay, so basically there are like three motifs or three kind of structures in alpha beta, that is mixed secondary structure. Okay, so that is a barrel kind of structure, and another is a sheet kind of structure, and a horseshoe structure. Okay, so there is like three different domains, or like three different motifs that can be formed by the mixed alpha beta secondary structures. So these are the common thing that you have to get. So here, like a parallel beta strands are arranged in barrels or sheets. So in barrel and in sheet, you will have the beta strands arranged in a parallel way, parallel beta sheet. Okay, so individual beta strands are connected by alpha helices, and 8 to 10 strands is like used to make like barrel or like sheet. So the common motif find in these structures are beta, alpha, beta motif. Okay, so these three barrel, okay, three kind of structures. So generally it's known like a tim barrel. So this barrel kind of structure, it's like a tim barrel. And then open sheet, this is a open sheet, right? Or like the beta strands, it will be arranged in a twisted form, either in a open form or in a twisted form. So that is generally called as a fold. Okay, then this horseshoe structure. So here alpha beta seeds will be arranged in a horseshoe fold. Okay, so here you can see this the schematic representation of these three kind of domains. Okay, so tim barrel as well as the horseshoe fold will follow this pattern. Okay, so you have like a alpha beta motif. Okay, so beta alpha beta motif, these two different motifs are connected with their alpha helices. All right, so this motif will be commonly found in like a tim barrel protein as well as the horseshoe fold protein. In Grossman fold, okay, so you have like a this beta alpha beta motif. Okay, in like both domain you will have beta alpha beta motif, but the thing is the alpha helix will be like a crossover connection. It will have a crossover connection, whereas in tim barrel and horseshoe the connection will be like a direct, but in Rossmann fold the connection will be a crossover. Okay, and if you see the topology, you can clearly distinguish the topology. So here in tim barrel and horseshoe fold, all the beta strands will be on same plane. Okay, so all the beta strands, the beta sheet will be on same plane, and the alpha helices will be above the plane, above the plane of the strand. Whereas here, so one alpha helix will be below the plane and another will be above the plane. All right, so that you have to remember. This is like a common topology that's generally found in like all these three kind of structures. Okay, so here we are going to see closely the structure of all these three structures. Okay, so first we are going to see the tim barrel structure. So this one is a open twisted sheet. Don't confuse with this tim barrel. Okay, it's a open twisted. This we will see later on. All right. So here you can see like a tim barrel structure. So the beta strands. All right. So that are forming the barrel structure. All right. So if you see here, the barrel, entire barrel is made of only by the beta strands. All right. So here you can see like so the barrel, the cylindrical form is made. Okay. the wall of the cylinder is made only with the beta strands, and these beta strands are surrounded by the alpha helices. All right. So here is the topology diagram. Okay. So beta, alpha, beta motif. All right. So beta, alpha, beta motif. It will be like all right. So here tin barrel totally around 200 or more than 200 residues will be there, but 160 residues will be structurally equivalent, which is maintaining the barrel kind of structure. Okay. So the more than 160 will be found in the loop region. Okay. So the loop region, here you can see on the top of the barrel as well as the bottom of the barrel, you can see the length of the loop will be varying. Okay. Sometimes it will have just 3 residues or 2 residues or maybe 10 or 15 residues, depends upon the protein. Okay. So the loop region will be varying, and the conformation also will be varying. Okay. So the active site that is present, that is formed only by this loop region. Okay. And sometimes the loop region, okay, can just go over a long loop, and itself it can make a domain, like an independent domain. All right. So here you can see clearly the barrel structure that is made only by the beta strands. So here you can see 8 strands are arranged. Okay, so it's making a wall of the barrel. So the alpha helices will be, it will be on the surface of this barrel. Okay, so in between this, so you know the motif beta, alpha, beta motif. Okay, so the alpha helix will be present in the central of these two helices, seeing these two strands. Okay, so it will form a layer. Okay, don't think that the alpha helix will intercalate between these two strands. Okay, it will form like a 2 layers. Okay, just see here, it will form 2 layers. The inner layer is completely made of beta strand, which is making a barrel wall. All right. The outer layer is completely made of alpha helices. All right. So this you have to clearly understand. All right. So inside the barrel there are 3 layers, which is making a hydrophobic cell. That is, so inside this barrel, so completely having a hydrophobic uh, region, hydrophobic environment. Okay, and then the hydrophobic environment is classified like 3 layers. Okay, the central layer is completely made of hydrophobic, and the bottom layer is also hydrophobic. On the top of this layer, you will have hydrophilic residues. Okay, so you can see lysine, aspartate, glutamate. So these hydrophilic residues also is there. All right. And I told you here the alpha helices, right, which is surrounding the barrel. Okay, so here also there is a hydrophobic layer. Okay, between the alpha helix and between alpha helix and strand, you have another cell of hydrophobic layer. So there is 2 kind of hydrophobic layer. One hydrophobic layer is inside the barrel, and another layer is between alpha helix and the strand. Okay, so in alpha helices you will have valine isoleucine at least 40% of residues will be only this. So these residues will intercalate strands. Okay, which is making a hydrophobic pocket. Okay, so you can see here the position of the uh, beta strands. Okay, so first strand, second strand, third strand, fourth strand, and fifth strand. Okay, so here first strand is made up of 6 to 10 residues. Second strand is made up of 37 to 41 residues, and so on. Okay, so first strand, second strand, third strand, and so on. All right. So here you can see like methyl malonyl coenzyme. Okay, here it is binding a like a coenzyme. Okay, with the help of hydrophilic amino acid serine and threonine, which is present in the hydrophobic pocket, which will help to bind the coenzyme A here. Okay, so like unusual exception which is found in the hydrophobic core of the beta, right? So here, this fold, as I told you, it is a tim barrel. All right. So here you can note down one loop region is completely making a long, like separate domain here. All right. So this kind of like structures are available in many like tim barrel protein. Okay. So tim barrel is generally associated with like enzymatic function. Okay. For example, like glycolytic pyruvate kinase, which is having like 530 residues. So here, like 40 residues, it's making like an individual domain or loop region, and then 43 to 115 it is making one side of the beta barrel. Okay, wall of the beta barrel. Then 43 to 115. Okay, it's making like a 43 to 115. It's making a one wall, and then 116 to 223. It's making separate domain, and then 224. It's making another wall, and then finally it is making like another separate domain. Right. So the location of the active site in tin barrel, as I told you, on the this is the barrel. So on the top you will see the loop region. So this loop region will make the active site. Okay. So there are proteins which is having like two tin barrels, and there are some protein which is having like a three tin barrels. Okay. So in each tin barrel will be like a separately arranged. Okay, the active site is independent of each barrel structure. All right. So for example, each barrel will perform different kinds of reaction. All right. In some protein, the synthesis of the tryptophan. Okay, the synthesis of the tryptophan is performed by two different enzymes or three different enzymes. Okay, whereas some protein which is having like a tin barrel protein, it is the same protein, but it is having like a two tin barrel domains or three tin barrel domains. So each tin barrel domain is taking responsible for the synthesis of the tryptophan. So here you can see, so barrel 1 is making some product, and barrel 2 making complete tryptophan. All right. So timberels is an like example of like enzymatic evolution. So there is evidence that new enzymes can evolve by changing the active site of timberel. So as I told you, right? So it's making like a, it's having like two different timberel domain or three different timberel domain, each carrying like different function. Okay, so then why not? It's possible, right? So you can make modification in the active side. Maybe you can arrive with like some different end functional activity. So here you can see, okay, so this enzymatic activity, like two different kinds of enzymatic activity. So one is like mandalate racemase, another is forming the mucoinate lactonizing enzyme. Okay, so if you see the reacts, it's almost like the same kind of reaction, and the product is also like almost like a same kind of like a product. All right. So both enzymes are like tim barrel, which is having like only 26% sequence identity, but performing like a nearly same kind of function. All right. So far we saw about like a tim barrel protein, and now we are going to see this alpha beta horseshoe fold structure. So this horseshoe fold is also called like a leucine rich uh, repeat protein. Okay, so here most of the residues will be like a leucine, and also it will be like a having like a repeated motif. Okay, so generally it is called LRR motif, leucine rich repeat protein. Okay, so here you can see again it is making like beta alpha beta motif. Okay, beta alpha beta and so on. All right, so it's making like a layer between strand and alpha helices, which is the hydrophobic layer. All right, so unlike a tin barrel, all right, so it is making only one hydrophobic shell, which is between strand and alpha helices. Okay, there is no hydrophobic core inside the shoe, inside the horseshoe. All right, so these protein is does not have perform like a same kind of function. It's functionally not relevant, but it is keeping the same structure. All right. So here you can see this is the beta strand, and you have the alpha helix. Okay. So you can see like most of the residues are leucine. All right. So second position, fifth position, seventh position, 12th position, 17, 20, 24. So most of the residues are leucine. Okay, that's why it's called like a LRR, leucine rich repeat protein. Okay, so this is the sequence pattern that is commonly found in LRR protein. Okay, so as I told you already, X is like any amino acid. All right, so leucine, glutamate, or arginine, or any amino acid. Okay, so if you have like see this kind of pattern, okay, so you can easily say this is a leucine rich repeat protein. Okay, so then we have the Rossmann fold, the third and of alpha beta structure. So here you can see it's entirely different from tin barrel as well as the horseshoe protein. Okay, so here the beta strands is surrounded by the alpha helices. Okay, all right. So this beta strand is called like a sheet kind of structure. Okay, so this sheet may be flat or twisted sheet. Okay, so generally the Rossmann fold will have the twisted sheet. Okay, so lactate dehydrogenase, all the dehydrogenases will be having this Rossmann fold. So since Rossmann, a fellow, found kind of fold at the first time, so it was named after him, right? So here you can see the topology where you have like a tin barrel. So all the beta strands are parallel, all right? But in a Rossmann fold, you can see like a mixed uh, kind of thing. Okay, so parallel strand as well as the anti-parallel strands. Okay, and also you have like a crossover connections, right? So the location of the active site in the Rossmann fold is between this loop region again. All right, the crevice of the loop region will be the active site, right? Right. So there are like protein structures with different kind of like alpha beta uh, layers. Okay, so alpha beta just one layer is called like a double sandwich, alpha beta alpha triple sandwich, beta double sandwich. Okay, open alpha beta sheets. Okay, and then alpha beta alpha sandwiches. Okay, so this is total binding protein, which is like alpha beta, right? Alpha beta double sandwich. Right? So that's all we have like structures about this alpha beta structures. All right. So so we have seen like proteins with only alpha helix, that is alpha domain structure, and another we saw alpha beta structures. Okay, so in alpha beta structures we saw like three kinds of topology. One is like a Rossmann fold, another is like a timbarrel, and another is what? Horseshoe fold, right? So these three kind of different domains that we saw in the alpha beta structures. Okay, so you have like any questions so far? No questions? Okay, so I will go to next topic. All right. So here we are going to see the protein structures, which is made of only beta strands. All right. So we saw like alpha helices structures only with alpha helices. We saw like mixed kind of like structures, and then now we are going to see only with the beta strands. Okay. So this is like functionally most diverse. All right. So the second largest group after the alpha beta strands. Okay. So build up from like 4 to 10 beta strands. So beta strands are arranged maximum anti-parallel fashion. Okay. So there is usually two beta seeds which pack like each other. Okay. Resembling like a barrel or distorted barrel. All right. So here you can see. So two beta sheets are formed, which pack against each other. All right. So here you can see like two beta strands which are like packing against each other. Okay. So which will make like a barrel kind of structure. So the first kind of barrel is like up and down barrel, as the like domain okay indicates it's named like up and down barrel. So here you can see beta okay beta completely beta. All right, but the thing is they are anti-parallel. All right, so we are going to see like different kinds of barrel with beta strands that you have to uh, able to distinguish these barrels. All right, so simplest topology, so similar arrangement to tin barrel, but without helices. All right. And here you can see another kind of protein, so the RBP, retinol binding protein. All right. Again, this is like an up and down barrel. So in the center, you have the active site, which is hydrophobic layer. So the retinol is bound inside the hydrophobic layer. If you see the retinol, all right, the hydrophobic region, okay, is buried inside the like barrel, okay, which is surrounded by a completely hydrophobic layer, hydrophobic residues, and the hydrophilic terminal of this retinol will be facing outside. All right. So here you can see the sequence pattern is like a retinol binding protein. So this is foreign monomer from Rhodobacter, which is having like a 14 beta strands. Okay, and again like this kind of example of up and down barrels, which contains like more than 8 strands. So this is another protein which is called like a beta propeller in neuraminidase. Okay, so here you can see you have like a 6 domains. All right. So each domain is made up of like individual like beta strands. All right. So 6 domains. All right. So again, this neuraminidase is a tetramer. Okay. So you will see like 4 domains, like just like this. So which makes like a propeller kind of structure. So here you can see this is a complete structure of neuraminidase, which is making tetramer, and it's called like a propeller kind of structure. All right. So the active site. is present in the like a loop region, on top of this loop region. Okay, so you can see here, like it's making kind of a blade. All right, so individual domain is making kind of like a fan of the propeller. All right, so active site is here, right? And then we have like another barrel which is having like a Greek key motif in anti-parallel beta barrel. All right, so again here the beta strands are arranged in an anti-parallel way, but it is a Greek key motif. All right, so example is like a all gamma crystalline, which is found in the eye lens. All right, so here you have like a two domains. Okay, so each domain you have like a two motif. Okay, again they are like Greek key motif only. So between these two domains you have like a crossover connection. All right, the sequence identity between them is like only 20 to 30% identity. These two domains, which is having like very like a narrow sequence identity. Okay, so then another kind of roll barrel, so which is called like a jelly roll beta barrel. All right, so this like a jelly roll beta barrel. The color shade indicates the like parallel. This region is parallel to this region is parallel to this. All right, so that's why it's a different color code. Okay, here you can see. All right, so the green, all right, is making parallel hydrogen bonding beta sheet. All right, so this red and red making a sheet. All right, that's why it's given like a different color code. All right, so two Greek key motifs in jelly roll barrel. So this is another kind of like a barrel here, right? So jelly roll barrel in viruses. So very common in like subunits of like spherical viruses. So barrel is distorted with the helices instead of some loops. So example is rhinovirus, right? So the structure of this jelly roll protein. Okay. So comparison of all those like barrels, so up and down, and then gamma crystalline like, and this is jelly roll. So if you see that everything is like up and down roll only, but the arrangement of beta strand, okay, so that is entirely different. So gamma crystalline, you have like a Greek key motif. All right. So here this and this, they will make like hydrogen bonding. All right. Whereas here, this and this will make the hydrogen bonding. So that you have to see, right? You see here C terminal and N terminal. All right. So how they arrange, that is the matter. Okay, that you have to remember. So yet another kind of barrel which you can, apart from these three barrel, okay, there is another kind of barrel which is having like a chymotrypsin kind of food. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, digestive enzymes which will have this kind of barrel. All right. So here you have like two different domains. Like each domain is made up of like a six strands. Okay, so these six strands are arranged in this fashion. So you can see the kind of barrel which is making, which is found in this kind of protein, chymotrypsin, trypsin, all these kind of proteins. Okay, so this is like generally like a barrel which is made of only beta strands. All right. So now we are going to see the helix. So we have seen alpha helix, but beta strand we have seen, which is making a sheet kind of structure. All right. So this sheet can fold into like a barrel kind of structure. That's what we have seen. But what is this helix, beta helix? So generally, there is like a two different kind of beta helix is there. So this beta helix is formed only with the two sheet or with three sheet. Okay, so this is like a generally found beta helices. So apart from this, there is another one. Okay, so which is completely made of single spiral like strand. Okay, so example is here. All right, so this beta helix is completely made of single strand. All right, so this is like very like a peculiar structure. You cannot find out this structure like common. All right, so then this is like a two sheet beta helix. So as I told you, only like two strands, which is forming a beta sheet. Okay, and here you have like a common pattern. Okay, see, you can find out the common sequence pattern here. Right, so this is the pattern glycine X. Okay, glycine X aspartate, and U is usually amino acid. All right, so calcium ions sit in between these loop region. All right, uh, yeah. So, so this is like a three sheet beta helix. So you can see like three sheets arranged in this fashion. All right. So pectate lyase, the structure of pectate lyase is an example of like three sheet beta helix. Okay. So then the kind of structure that can be found in the this spider web. Okay. So this spider web is completely a protein. Okay, which is made of beta strands only. Okay, so this web is completely beta fibrous protein. Okay, so we have seen alpha helix making fibrous protein, which is keratin, right? Hair, nails, hooves, all these are formed, right? Only by alpha helices. But the spider silk is a fibrous protein which is made of like beta strand. Okay, so here like N and C terminal parts are like variable, but up to like a large region, like nearly like 800 residues, which is making a central region, is formed completely by this kind of repeat. Okay, so which is allowing to make like a beta sheet. Okay, so here in sheet about like 30% of beta sheet is forming like a microcrystal, and remaining portion will be like a highly flexible region. Okay, so here you can see like very tiny region which is like making like a, so many beta sheets. All right, so you can see the uh, dimension. All right, so 5 times stronger than steel, like very elastic, and can be stretched from like 3 to 4 times than its like original size. Okay, so it's lighter than cotton. Okay, all right, so far we have seen like a different kind of like protein structures. All right, so you have like any questions so far? Kamania, any questions? Okay, so you have no question, we can end up the class. All right, so here you can see, so most of the region, most of the part, okay, it was taken from Brandon and Tools only. So you can refer this book. Okay, so whatever that I am discussing and whatever I am going to discuss, okay, so everything that you can find out from this single textbook. All right. Okay, so if you don't have like any question, I'll stop here. Okay, and then so we'll see tomorrow. All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.